You're listening to the ESO Network, your station for all things geek.
All right, let's get started.
You sound so excited about this episode, Jamie.
You guys make fun of me, but this is why I always come on really strong at the opening. It's like, okay, here we go. Welcome to Enterprise Planning.
You're trying to get your adrenaline going by just moving.
There's so much I want to say, but I keep having to stop myself because I'm like, leave it. I'll do it as part of the episode.
I've been watching the Olympics, but the real endurance athletes are the people who host this podcast.
Hi, we are Enterprise Splaining, the podcast where we explain Star Trek Enterprise to each other and to you. I'm Jamie, and these are my co-hosts, Bill.
Hello.
And Maria.
Not going to trip me up that time.
I knew you were going to do that.
I did it in that order, which is confusing. Jarrah, for some reason, me and Maria each say each other's name first. Always before Bill.
For some reason.
So we get very confused when it's in a different order. And speaking of which, Jarrah is with us today, is back. Jarrah, remind our listeners who you are and why you are here.
Hi, my name is Jarrah Hodge, and I am one of the co-hosts of the Women at Warp Star Trek podcast, which wrapped up our 10-year mission about a year ago. My relationship with Star Trek is I'm a big fan. My relationship with Enterprise is I'm not a big fan.
Familiar.
I don't feel like I have to pretend anymore because I'm not hosting a podcast. No, I mean, I do. There's a lot of pieces that I do appreciate about Enterprise, some of the characters and some of the storylines. But when I tried to do a watch through episode by episode, I kind of stalled out like in season 2-ish.
I believe we figured it out and you stalled out right before the last episode we just saw, First Flight.
Okay.
And then I think you said you came back in season 3,
Yeah.
so there were only 3 episodes that you haven't seen.
Yeah.
The one that we just did, First Flight, which let's just say you weren't missing anything.
I think I have now seen that one, and I have seen like a smattering of season 3 and 4 for like research for other episodes. But I don't remember this one at all. It's possible that I've seen it and just have zero memory, but I don't think I have.
All right, well, today we're going to be talking about the Star Trek Enterprise episode Bounty. However, I am the only person here who has watched it, so it's my job to explain to my co-hosts what happened on the episode. Before we get to that, though, just want to remind everyone that we have merch. We have extremely cute Porthos Appreciation Society shirts that were designed for us by Ina Buns. And it's available on the ESO Network TeePublic store. You can find the link for that in the show notes. Computer, tell us about the episode we will be watching this week.
Bounty. Archer learns the Klingons have put a price on his head when he is captured by a Tellarite bounty hunter. As Enterprise pursues, a virus causes T'Pol to go into premature Ponfar.
Now it is time for 2 truths and a lie. I am going to tell you 2 truths and 1 lie about this episode, and you can guess which is the lie. Are you guys ready?
Ready.
Statement 1. We learn that Phlox feels very uncomfortable with nudity.
Oh boy, this is flashing back to the First Flight pod, 2 Truths and a Lie, where they said we get to see naked Phlox in Decon. Okay, all right. We learned that Phlox is uncomfortable with nudity. Okay.
I feel like it's one of those things that like it is so unlikely it could be true.
Statement 2. We get confirmation from an actual Klingon that Klingons do not have escape pods. You'll remember that was something T'Pol said way back in season 1. She was like, Klingons don't have escape pods.
That sounds very plausible. Okay. I like that one.
Statement 3. T'Pol begs Malcolm to fuck her, but he refuses. I'm so sorry, you guys.
See, now we're getting into the meta of this, which I've brought up before. It's like, would Jamie make this up? Or would Maria make this up?
God.
Oh, boy. Okay. Okay, I'm going to go with the lie is number one. Phlox is uncomfortable with nudity. That doesn't seem like Phlox's vibe at all. His own nudity or anyone else's nudity, I can't imagine. I imagine like on Denobulan ships, everybody's just walking around free and easy. So that's my pick.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with that as well.
I'm gonna go with the T'Pol begging Malcolm to fuck her because I just can't. I don't want it to be true. I don't want to hear about it if it is true. I just would rather that I live in a world where that doesn't happen.
And yet, we keep watching this show.
I live in eternal hope.
All right, well, we will find out. But while you ponder what this week's lie may be, let's hear from one of our sister podcasts on the ESO network.
Come listen to the 42 Cast. It's your ultimate answer to fandom, geekiness, and everything, and you can only find it on the ESO network.
Are you guys ready for the cold open?
Oh boy. Maria, do you and I do that as an affectation from Quantum Leap? Because I realize how much I've been saying it on this show. Going back and listening to the episodes. Oh boy.
We open on a Captain Starlog, which I feel like we're getting more in the second season. The first season, we barely got a Captain Starlog ever.
Yeah, no, that was a common complaint of mine is that they didn't do recaps before or after.
Yeah. So we open on Captain Starlog, where Archer says that he and Trip have been exploring an uninhabited planet. It's actually not just him and Trip.
God.
There's a bunch of other teams as well, but him and Trip are also down there. They've been there for a couple days, but him and Trip have just been called back to the Enterprise because another ship has come across them and sent a message asking to speak with Archer. This other ship is a Tellarite ship. And we have heard a lot about Tellarites on Enterprise so far, but I don't think we've seen one on Enterprise.
Correct.
Is that a TOS species? Because I wasn't familiar with them.
Are they the pig nose aliens?
Yeah.
Yep.
I think that's right. Yeah.
We saw them at least once in TOS. Yeah.
One of the founding four. Spoilers for the end of Enterprise.
Oh, that's why they keep bringing them up. That makes sense then. So I feel like Tellarites have been mentioned 3 or 4 different times in the past, but then it would be oh, this Tellarite ship or that thing. People are always talking about Tellarites, but we haven't seen one yet. Anyways, we then see Archer and Trip in the turbo lift in their desert gear.
Ah, yay, desert gear.
But Trip does not look like he is in good shape. His clothes are stained with mud. There's a streak of mud on his cheek. Apparently he slipped and fell in some mud. They're arguing about it. None of this really matters, but it was notable just because Archer's just oh, you got lightheaded and tripped is how dare you? The rocks gave way. It's something, it says something bad about him. I guess he thinks if he just slipped and fell in some slippery mud. I don't know. It's a little weird.
It's a sign of weakness, Jamie. If you slip, you're not a man.
Also, your name is literally Trip. What do you expect?
Yeah.
Which we found out last week stands for triple.
That's what he tells people. So why do they call you Stinky? Oh, it's because I was so clean in Starfleet Academy.
But yeah, apparently it was too much for Trip's ego. He couldn't fall without a real excuse. But again, none of this actually matters to anything, so we can just move on. Archer makes it to the bridge where Malcolm has apparently been in charge this whole time. Which I was trying to think back if we'd seen, I think there was one time we saw, the other time we saw Malcolm in charge was in the Andorian incident.
Oh.
Which
sure.
Things were not good for him there, so.
Yeah, it went so well.
But I was just surprised. I was whoa, Malcolm in charge of the bridge.
It's T'Pol. So T'Pol's on the planet too, presumably?
We don't know where T'Pol is.
We don't know.
Yet.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
Archer opens comms with the other ship, and we finally get to meet a Tellarite. So he's got a lot of facial hair. He's got a little piggy nose. Archer greets him with his usual, "What can I do for you?" to which the Tellarite responds, "You can start with telling me what you're doing here." So not exactly the most promising start.
Oh dear.
But he's physically on the bridge, or he's on the view screen?
No, on the view screen, on comms.
Oh, okay.
These boys, they just tumble into everybody's territory.
We do learn that the Tellarite is named Captain Scalar, and Archer explains that they're just on this planet for science reasons and for a little bit of shore leave. I'm not sure how good shore leave is on an uninhabited planet, but okay. Like I'd be pissed if I got shore leave on an uninhabited planet, just saying.
I mean, if it's your only choice to get away from the rest of the crew of the Enterprise, though.
Fair.
Just not even anyone to make you food.
Yeah.
I know. I'm just like, oh, so then you go down to this, you got to bring all your camping gear. Anyways, at hearing that they are just vacationing on the planet, Captain Scalar suddenly perks up and his tone completely changes. He's like, oh, I've got travel recommendations for you. And he starts telling them like where to go, where the best views are, like where the best hot springs are. It is just like a complete 180 from where he just was.
And I'm sorry, Jamie, this is an uninhabited planet, but in Tellarite space.
I don't know about what space it's in. This is just a Tellarite ship that came and asked what they were doing there.
Got it.
Well, in fairness to the Tellarite, this is not. If the Enterprise shows up in your space, bad shit's going to go down. What the fuck are you doing here?
Agreed. We've already established that they have a reputation for being trouble, so that I understand.
And this Tellarite is just suddenly like, oh, I'd be happy to show you around. I go to this planet all the time. It's like my main vacation spot. Like, I could show you around, show you all my favorite spots. Archer could not be happier. He just loves being like chummy with some random alien.
Yeah. It's his favorite thing.
So, Scalar tells him that he'll meet them at their docking port to help them plan their shore leave. If it sounds like I am putting quotation marks around some of those words, it is not me editorializing. This is how he says it. It is in the most suspicious manner possible.
Sounds like Scalar has a timeshare.
It's also extra suspicious because, even in modern Star Trek, the Tellarites are, known for being confrontational and argumentative. And it's also suspicious that Archer isn't racist about that.
When we were watching this for the first time, I mean, literally just the way he said it, I immediately said to Eric, I was like, well, this man's clearly lining it up to no good. But apparently Archer has no reservations because he changes back in his regular uniform and goes with Trip to go meet Scalar at the docking port. And while they're walking over, Archer does say that T'Pol tells him that Tellarites love to argue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I guess they haven't spoken to Tellarites before, but they have already heard about their reputation.
Right.
Yeah.
Archer says arguing is like a sport to them, and Trip laughs and says, well, I got an ex-girlfriend he might like to meet.
I knew that was coming.
Because, girlfriends always be arguing.
Why bitches be so argumentative?
They open the door to the dock, and Scalar immediately shoots them both with a phaser, stunning them.
That's delightful.
Amazing.
And then Scalar just takes unconscious Archer onto his ship and just gets the fuck out of there. So Archer now abducted. Just Archer.
Awesome.
Amazing.
And theme song.
And end of episode.
End of episode, end of series.
We could only hope.
Yes.
And this brings us to the theme song, which means it is time for the Diane Warren update of the week. For listeners who listened to last week's episode, while we were in the middle of the second contact for regeneration, I interrupted and was like, I have breaking Diane Warren news because my friend Arcadios had texted me a TikTok of Kesha on the red carpet at the Grammys saying that in the 80s, Diane Warren stole her mom's boyfriend.
Right.
So obviously I was like, I gotta know more. So the TikTok was just a short clip that was obviously from a longer interview. So I went to E! News because they're the ones that did the interview to see if I could find the full clip. They did have a longer clip, but it was still edited in the middle. So it's like Kesha mentions that Diane Warren stole her mom's boyfriend, who is also the guy who produced the song Dear Me. And then the interviewer's like, oh my God, spill that tea. And then it just cuts to later in the interview where the interviewer is asking her about like what it was like working with Diane Warren. And I'm like, well, but what about the promise tea? Like, where is it?
Yeah.
So I looked everywhere. I spent so long trying to find the whole interview. I even tried to see if I could find like the full live stream of like the whole E! News red carpet so I could find it in there. But I could not find it anywhere. I think it is just like not online. Like, I just think it doesn't exist anywhere. So I'm like, you know what? Mama, let's research. Kesha said that the boyfriend that Diane Warren stole from her mom produced the song Dear Me, which is the producer, Guy Roche. In the Diane Warren documentary that I watched, Diane Warren did say that they dated back in the 80s for a couple years and their relationship ended in 1992. Kesha's mom is, I just realized I don't know how to pronounce this, P.B. Siebert. Apparently she's been on some reality shows. I'm like, I was hoping one of you would know.
Is it like Phoebe but without an H or something? I don't know. That
I was going to say,
it's P.E.B.E.
PB.
Yeah, sure.
I would say.
Probably PB. Sure.
She is a songwriter who has written songs for Dolly Parton and Pitbull and a lot of Kesha's songs. And she was married to another songwriter named Hugh Moffat from 1978 to 1984. So the question is, did she date Guy Roche at some point, like basically between 1984 and 1989?
Well, I think the larger question is it possible that Kesha's mom is actually Diane Warren?
Have they ever been seen in the same place at the time?
Great question.
So weirdly, they're actually, because like I said, I did a lot of research. They were apparently friends because they were both kind of songwriters around the same time. Mm-hmm. And apparently she actually introduced Kesha to Diane Warren when Kesha was an infant.
Oh.
And she said, I'm going to write a song for this baby.
I did find an Us Weekly article where she said that she started working with Guy Roche after she moved from Nashville to LA, but it didn't say when that was. But she was definitely living in LA when she gave birth to Kesha in 1987. So that didn't really narrow the timeline. Guys, I did so much research on this.
You're really cracking the mystery that's on the lips of all of America right now, Jamie.
Yeah, seriously.
I was like,
Everybody
okay, well, if
wants to
Kesha was born in 1987, like, who's Kesha's dad? But apparently that's unknown. So that didn't lead anywhere. I spent a lot of time Googling a bunch of other stuff, and I really just, like, couldn't come up with anything more. So the next step was, I'm like, well, there is this TikTok of Kesha saying this that's kind of going a little bit, it's probably not going viral, but I don't know, somehow my friend saw it. Right. And so I'm like, maybe Guy Roche has commented on this somewhere. So I went looking for his social media, and this man is just like a normal dude. Like he is not a public figure. He doesn't even have a Wikipedia page. I did find an Instagram for him. He had like 1,000 followers, and it has not been updated in 5 years. So there was nothing there. I couldn't find like a Twitter for him. He really just didn't really have any public social media. But then I was like, wait, this guy's a boomer. And where do boomers hang out on the internet? And not the Travis kind of boomer. They hang out on Facebook.
Right.
So I went to Facebook and I found his Facebook page. And unfortunately, he has never posted anything public there either. This did not go anywhere.
Try adding him as a friend and seeing if he would accept you as just this person
he
must
did
know
not
me.
have the add as friend button. The button wasn't even there.
I feel like someone did that
I did
for
look.
him.
I would never have done that.
Why we need to start a campaign. Why is he burying the question that everyone wants to know is, did he date Diane Warren? And did Diane Warren seduce him?
Wait, we know he dated Diane Warren. Yeah, the question is, did he date Kesha's mom right before? What I did notice on his page, though, and the reason I mentioned this, is in his friend list was Diane Warren. And it was just her personal page. It wasn't like her public fan one. It was just her personal page. So I clicked on it. I did not try to add her as a friend. That would have been
absolutely add her as a friend.
No, I'm already embarrassed at like this level of stalking.
Is PB in his friends list?
Great question.
Oh my God, I didn't check. That's such a good question. I gotta check that.
It's not stalking, Jamie. It's journalism.
That's what I keep telling myself. But unfortunately, I have to say, Diane Warren's Facebook page, her only public posts are the exact same post she has on Instagram. I think she just sets it to like post in both places.
To copy, yeah.
So at this point, I am embarrassed to say that I had researched this for about 1.5 hours.
So much time.
It truly, I kept feeling like I was so close to figuring this out. And I was like, I haven't found anything. So I feel like I don't have anything for the segment. So that is why the segment is just all the research I did. Please include a photograph of your murder board in the show notes for us. At this point, I basically gave up, but I do have to say, on Diane Warren's Instagram, she posted a clip from a different part of that same Kesha interview. So I did comment on it from our Enterprise Splaining account and asked her if she really stole Kesha's mom's boyfriend in the 80s. Oh my God. So I will report back in the future if she responds.
She is going to direct message you on St. Patrick's Day.
Anyways, so that's the Diane Warren segment. I'm sorry, I couldn't find anything more. I tried so hard. Listeners, if you guys see anything, if you can find this full interview, if you know anything else, please let me know. I'm begging you.
Oh boy, release the unedited tapes.
No. Anyways, so that was a theme song. We can get back into this episode, I guess.
All right.
Truly, in Jamie's head, this is just a Diane Warren podcast that occasionly talks about Star Enterprise, which I'm fine with.
If you spin it off, you need to call it War and Peace.
Oh my God!
Oh, that's
Why
very good.
don't we just rename this whole segment that? That's so good.
Yeah, that's very good. That's very good.
All right, so back on the bridge, we see Malcolm in charge again. He seems to be doing pretty well. He's like keeping the bridge running efficiently, while identifying that there is a security issue and figuring out what to do next. So, like, vaguely competent, I guess. He does recall all of the science teams that were still on the surface of the planet so that they can, like, go after the Tellarite ship. Mm-hmm. So he did not, like, just leave them behind.
He has figured out that Archer's been taken.
Yes. I'm being facetious. He does actually do a pretty good job. He's like, what do you know? What do we know? Call the teams. He's like, given orders. It was surprising. I would not have expected Malcolm to be meeting the, like,
taking
basic
charge.
level of competence at being in charge of the bridge.
And do we, is Trip back, or is Trip still passed out on the floor in the cargo container or the
covered in mud?
Yeah, I assume I think he comes in a little bit.
Okay.
And then we see T'Pol for the first time. She is in Decon, so that's where she has been. I'm not sure why, like, Trip and Archer, like, I don't know if they went through, like, a different Decon or what the deal is. But she's in Decon. She's in her, like, white desert gear that we saw her in Marauders.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And with her in Decon is Phlox. So they're, like, in Decon together.
No. Oh, no. What is Phlox wearing?
He's wearing like a
Vulcan
V-neck and just like shorts.
Okay.
Shorts?
He's in kind of just normal clothes. I think so. He's definitely wearing shorts later, but
okay.
He doesn't have like special desert gear.
But he's not in his underwear, because a lot of times they're in their underwear.
Neither of them are in their underwear yet. Okay. We'll get there. T'Pol wants to go to the bridge to help with the whole Captain getting kidnapped situation, but Fox tells her she can't because she picked up some sort of unknown microbe, and she can't leave until they destroy it because it's not clear if it's like dangerous or contagious. And he has also been exposed, so he is going to have to stay in there with her. We then cut to Archer. He is on that Tellarite ship, and he is just waking up from being stunned. And it looks like a typical Star Trek alien shuttle, but Archer's in the back, and between him and Scalar, there is like these bright yellow glowing tube things things that are apparently are like a containment field of some kind. But it was just like very distracting. Archer then starts to cycle through all of his typical trying to talk his way out of a situation strategies. He tries threatening. He tries to just like to have small talk with him to get him on his side. He tries bribing him by saying they'll reward him if he's returned. But Scholar is not having any of it. And he finally just points his phaser at Archer and says, "You can either be quiet or spend the rest of this trip unconscious. Which do you prefer?" And Archer just sits down quietly, looking very dejected. And this is where I just want to stop for a second to mention that my partner, Eric, he did a little bit of research because he was like, it feels like Archer's getting abducted a lot. So...
Is he the most abductedest captain in all of Starfleet?
Well, so this is apparently the 50th episode of Enterprise if you count the pilot as 2 episodes. So, you know, I can't believe that we've done this for 50 episodes. And he went back and looked at all the 50 episodes that we've done to count up how many of them Archer is captured or stranded or otherwise in desperate need of rescuing. And it was 16 of 50.
God.
Wow.
Which he told me to make sure to tell you guys is 32%, which is higher than the percent of women on the Enterprise. Which we know is almost 30%.
Oh my God.
Oh, boy.
Is Eric okay? Do we need to do an intervention? That seems like a lot of work.
Makes me feel like maybe have I been wrong about an Enterprise because they're violating the like norm of having it always be a damsel in distress.
It's true.
Yeah, fair. But I feel like it's always Archer getting abducted so that he can like save himself and like, get out of it and like do his archery thing. Like they like having Archer as like the lone guy that's going to use his like wits and gut to get himself out of the situation.
I need to Photoshop self-rescuing princess shirt on him now.
By God, he is.
Back in Decon, our B-plot is getting underway. Both T'Pol and Phlox have stripped down to their underwear. T'Pol is in her usual, like, tank top and undies, and Phlox is way more covered up. He's got, like, a sleeveless V-neck and shorts that are, like, pretty long. They don't go all the way to his knees, but, like, almost.
Sure.
It's definitely not like the tiny blue shorts that we see all the other Enterprise
Does he have black socks with suspenders on them?
No, he does
God,
not.
that would be good.
Phlox says that he has confirmed that the microbe is contagious, but the radiation treatment has not killed it. So the next step is to try the Decon Gel E, which it's really funny to me that apparently there's multiple Decon gels and they're just called like Decon Gel. It's like if a doctor gave me a pill and was like, this is pill number H or something, I'd be like, no, like what is in this?
You need some more detail here.
I would just be making preparation H jokes.
Yeah.
And why would you call it, just taking a step back as part of the scriptwriter, why would you call it Gel E? Which is just like
Jelly.
sounding like jelly. Like, why not just call it Gel X, you know?
I actually like this because it makes sense if you're going to kill.
Sure, there's different
obviously
types.
there's penicillin which kills
Yeah, it
everything,
makes sense
but
there's
there are
different types, but
Absolutely makes sense.
Yeah.
you'd think you'd like call it by the drug, but I don't know. I just thought it was funny that that's what they call it.
This one has a refreshing mint flavor. Right?
Unfortunately, it's going to take a couple hours for the gel to work, which conveniently means that T'Pol cannot play any part in the A-plot, because obviously if she was in charge, she would immediately get Archer back, and then there would be no story.
Yeah, it would all get just sorted immediately.
Well, I suppose, I mean, obviously she can't physically do things, but she could still, they have comms.
Out of sight, out of mind, Bill.
I mean, I have a hard time imagining commanding a ship without a bra on.
Yeah, that's fair.
I couldn't do it.
Then, after handing her a tub of gel, Phlox pulls a curtain between them for privacy.
What a refreshing change.
There is a privacy curtain in the decon chamber, you guys.
T'Pol's like, what the hell?
So where
did this come from?
Oh, we've had it the entire time. I wasn't sure. It was 2 years, and you guys haven't been using this. I don't know why.
Well, it was kind of weird, but okay.
I gasped. Everybody's just been choosing to undress next to their work colleagues.
Oh, not just undress, rub each other down.
Phlox then takes his shirt off for the first time. And his chest generally looks like normal human looking, but it has like a darker section that runs in a line vertically from his chin all the way down until you can't see with the shorts. And then there's another line like it that's horizontal, basically like right under his nipples.
This is detail I don't need.
Phlox
Enterprise
welcome.
plating has gone too far.
But I was a little confused because it's also like on his neck. And I'm like, does he always have that? And I think it's possible that he does and we just don't really pay attention. Because he also kind of has it on his arms as well.
My recollection that he has kind of a high collar on his smock. So that's
maybe. So maybe we've never seen it.
I just love it if he literally just had a bunch of tattoos, like he had the thorn ring around
like,
one of his arms.
Mom on the
This throws me because when it became clear that we were wrong, that was not a lie, I was like, oh, they were just trying to save money because they didn't want to show, have to figure out what he would look like shirtless.
But
no, apparently they did. And they just thought that was a good storyline.
Yeah, I do find that interesting. If maybe they didn't even know exactly what they wanted, but I wouldn't actually be surprised if they kind of figured out, like, what do we think his body looks like before even starting the show. That seems like it would be part of, like, the original concept.
Sure.
Right.
Sure. He always does have kind of a high up collar.
Yeah.
So
it's kind of like it's like a Nehru jacket.
Like a Nehru jacket, exactly.
Yeah. So then he just chats about something that doesn't really matter while we get a whole bunch of close-ups of T'Pol rubbing the gel all over herself.
Of course we do.
And it is a full, like, the camera starts at her foot and then it slowly pans up her leg. And then we get a cut of the same thing with Phlox.
Yeah.
And it is a full-on jump scare because we do get his, like, toenails again a little bit. It's not as close up as last time. Because at first you're like, it looks like it's still T'Pol's foot. And then you realize, no, it is not. And it is funny because it is still kind of done in the sexy way. Yeah, it was really funny. I
love it.
I thought it was a great cut. And then at some point we also see his back. And on his back, up his spine, he's got like these like wavy ridges, which are just very interesting looking.
Cool.
But don't worry, because they go right back to the close-ups of T'Pol putting gel on her upper thigh and getting it under the edges of her underwear and then rubbing it on her taut stomach. And it is extremely voyeuristic camera work, as we have seen in these scenes before.
Also, how come they don't have to take off their underwear in these situations or their tank tops? Do the microbes not go there?
No, we've talked about how amazing the gel is that you do not have to put it in the filthiest parts of the human body in order to make sure that you're fully decontaminated.
But yeah, because if she's going just underneath the bottoms of her shorts, that is and then to her belly, that is missing a huge amount.
They put it on like they're putting on sunscreen.
She should literally be sticking her hand down her pants, but they weren't allowed to do that. Is probably happening.
Maybe what we're missing is that Starfleet technology in underwear is so advanced that the elastic band is a perfect barrier to prevent microbes from getting any further than that.
Phlox then says that he could use some assistance, so T'Pol pulls the curtain back while saying that she wasn't aware that a curtain was installed.
and
she's like, where the fuck has this been?
Please tell me that as she pulls the curtain back abruptly, Phlox shrieks and then covers his nipples with the tips of his hand.
It wasn't that there was one and nobody was using it. It was recently installed, apparently.
They left it on Jupiter Station when they left Earth to her.
Trip finally got around to it.
Phlox says that not everyone is comfortable with the idea of disrobing in front of others, in a way that very much implies that he is the person who doesn't feel comfortable.
Oh boy, is he.
That makes no sense, but okay.
Yeah, T'Pol is actually quite surprised, especially because he's a doctor, and it seems like doctors wouldn't actually be that like thrown off by nudity. But Phlox says that male denobulins are less inhibited than the women.
Oh, that's interesting. Because Phlox's wife struck me as very uninhibited.
Are less inhibited or are more inhibited?
Less inhibited. Less uninhibited. Sorry. It should be uninhibited. I should have said uninhibited.
Okay.
Sorry. Yeah, sorry. Phlox, male denobulins less uninhibited. I wrote inhibited.
Wait.
In my notes, I wrote
Wait, less
inhibited, which is not
uninhibited.
even a word.
So more
God damn
inhibited.
it.
Less uninhibited means more inhibited.
They want to wear their clothes more.
You don't need the double negative.
This implies that Phlox has inhibitions, which I do not believe.
Right, that's the problem. Is they've spent 2 seasons showing us that Phlox has no inhibitions about talking about sex. But I guess when it just comes down to showing it, maybe it's a bigger problem.
All this means is that the female denobulins are grade A freaks, which Phlox's wife.
Yeah, we have some evidence of that. That's true.
So Phlox, what I'm assuming is he's a never nude. And that he's having sex.
That would be amazing.
Without being naked.
God, I want him in jean shorts so bad.
You can be someone who is like very non-judgmental and open to like others and other sexual and like also open to talking about it without wanting to do things yourself.
Personal example, I am personally uncomfortable with doing personal displays of affection myself. I do not mind if other people do it. It's just something I don't do, but I don't object to other people doing it.
Okay, Bill, I got real worried when you were like, personally, I was like, Bill, not that kind of podcast.
We're going somewhere we don't want to go.
Sorry.
T'Pol is rubbing some gel on Phlox's back now. And then suddenly we get a little bit of music, not like in universe, but just like some vibe shifting music. And T'Pol starts to get like a faraway look on her face. She starts to slow down the way that she's rubbing his back in a way that is definitely kind of sexual.
It's the fanfare.
Is it a sexy bacteria?
It definitely looks like she is getting turned on. And like it is complete vibe shift. And then she kind of shakes her head and blinks like she is coming out of a trance. Sorry, I'm like dreading telling you guys about this episode. Because usually I'm like, I can't wait to tell you guys about the episode. And this is the first time that I have just been like dreading it.
This really should have been my episode.
It really should have been your episode. I'm actually
this
really
would have been a very
bummed
good
that you
Bill
didn't get this
episode. They then swap, and she turns around and she lifts up the back of her shirt. Like Jarrah said, obviously no bra, because I guess bras don't exist in the future. They must have like magic shirts that have like, I don't know, fancy. It just does bra things.
It's also maybe lower gravity.
Sure.
Maybe.
Well, Vulcan is a very high gravity planet, so perhaps in the Earth normal, it's,
Maybe the shirts themselves have different gravity.
So she lifts up the back of her shirt, and Phlox is putting the gel on her shirt. And Phlox looks incredibly uncomfortable and puts it on her blind while looking away. So it's definitely not just his nudity. Like, he definitely feels uncomfortable with other people being like nude in front of him.
So I don't buy that part.
I really don't buy that. As a doctor, I don't like he should have none or very few of those inhibitions. That I don't like. Okay, maybe if he's also naked, it's weird. And maybe because he's also
but if we
partly
remember,
naked,
he
that's
is more
weird.
of a vet.
That's true.
And I feel like it's different with animals.
I mean, just in terms of his psychology in general, Phlox is very frank with people and tends to talk about these things with a detachment. So yeah, this does surprise me.
It's fully admitting that like the Decon gel is not just a medical procedure, it's sexy times. Because if he would be totally fine with being like, this is what you need to do for medicine, but he's not okay with it all of a sudden, it's because it's sexy times.
How great would it be if Phlox was looking at her back, it's like, how long have you had this mole?
That is what Phlox would do. That, in my opinion, is much more Phlox-like because think about when his wife was on board and they were talking about Trip being uncomfortable and they were like, silly humans. They're so uncomfortable talking about sexuality and in being in those situations. Like, it just doesn't vibe to me. It doesn't sync with what we've seen about him before.
What if he finds T'Pol physically repulsive and he cannot stand?
Okay, that's a different
look at
story.
These smooth backs. They don't have ridges at all.
Unfortunately, we are soon going to hear his opinion on how T'Pol looks.
No.
I'm so sorry, you guys. I'm truly, this episode, oh my god, I'm so sorry for all of this.
The title of this episode is "We're So Sorry."
Jamie, how dare you?
Is it called Bounty because there's going to be a mutiny on this show?
It's because of all the paper towels they need.
The Bounty paper towels, yeah. We just see Trip rubbing the mud off of his face.
It's just a sponsorship.
Well, this is the Nike thing. I wouldn't put it that. Oh, man.
Back on the bridge, Trip is now in charge, so he's apparently like gotten himself all cleaned up, and they set off in pursuit of the Tellarite ship. On the Tellarite ship, Skalar is on the comm speaking with someone named Captain Goroth. And Skalar tells him, I have the fugitive. Remember where Archer is he broke out of Klingon jail previously. Yep. Skalar is a bounty hunter, hence the episode title. Goroth is apparently the Klingon that he's going to take him to, and gives him the coordinates for the handoff and promises that he will give him the full payment when he gets there. Meanwhile, over on the NX-01, they have now reached the location where they believe the Tellarite ship to be, but instead of the ship, there is just a beacon that is apparently sending out a signal identical to that of the Tellarite ship. They have been tricked.
Sneaky.
They are now trying to scan to find the real Tellarite ship, but the decoy beacon is blocking their scans, so Trip tells Malcolm to get rid of it, and Malcolm gets a serious look on his face and says, with pleasure, sir. He is so excited to blow up this beacon. To blow some
shit up? Yeah, good for Malcolm.
He loves it. I know. Malcolm loves blowing something up. It is, I would say, the only redeeming quality about Malcolm is his love of blowing shit up.
So happy to blow some shit up.
Back on the Tellarite ship, Archer is again trying to talk his way out of things with bribes, saying he's innocent, trying to guilt Skalar by saying that he'll be executed if turned over.
He knows that he's being turned over to the Klingons, right? At this point.
Yeah, because he just heard this whole conversation and he's figured it out. Skalar has the look of a man that has heard it all before and does not give one fuck. At one point, Archer tells him that his only crime was saving a bunch of refugees. And Skalar laughs and goes, that sounds very noble of you. You'll think twice before doing that again. I love this man. Skalar is a genuinely very fun character.
Excellent.
Archer keeps at it, though. Eventually, Skalar is like, look, I honestly do not even care if you are innocent or not. I really need this money, so sorry. Back in Decon, T'Pol is meditating. She is still in her underwear and she is sweating profusely. Phlox tells her that she has developed a fever and that her limbic system seems to be affected by the pathogen. As Phlox is scanning her, T'Pol starts to get a really crazed look. She is on the verge of a panic attack. She says she can't concentrate under these conditions. She's walking back and forth. She is absolutely freaking out about everything. She starts yelling that the captain's been abducted and she needs to go do something. And Phlox is just speaking calmly to her, trying to calm her down. But she is just getting more and more worked up. She runs over to the door of Decon to try to leave, but Phlox is able to get the locking mechanism on before she gets there, so she is locked in with him. And she's breathing very heavily, looking very panicked, and tells Phlox to open it. But she is still contagious, so letting her out could spread the pathogen to the rest of the ship.
Right.
She tries ordering Phlox, and when he still doesn't do it, she threatens to have him court-martialed. And Phlox is literally I don't think you can really do that.
Where? Where are you gonna, you are a Vulcan
First
on
of all,
a human
Neither of us is in Starfleet. Second, you have no idea how many court martials I've faced lately.
Yeah, and John Billingsley is doing, he's such a gem. He's doing so good in these scenes, like, because he's staying outwardly calm, but you can also see how scared he is, because this is like legitimately scary situation. Like, we know that T'Pol is very strong and like,
she's dangerous.
She'll fuck some shit up. Yeah.
Yeah. And by locking her in with him, he's basically putting himself in danger to prevent the rest of the ship from getting this pathogen.
And then T'Pol calls him Trip, and Flux is like, "Get me out of this!" He's like, Dr. Young Frankenstein, "Let me out of here! Let me out of here right now! Don't you people know a joke when you're..."
Right as T'Pol seems like she is about to hurt Phlox in her rage, she suddenly seems to come to her senses a bit, and she kind of like takes a step back from him. She takes some deep breaths, and then she quietly says that she is having trouble suppressing her emotions.
No.
Like, no shit. Phlox looks relieved but worried and tells her that she has just a couple hours until the gel will work its magic and destroy the pathogen. So he suggests putting her under a mild sedative. Back on the Tellarite ship, Scalar is chatting on the comms with another Tellarite, and they're arguing over whether the 9,000 darsecs that he's going to get for turning over Archer to the Klingons will get them the Tezra back. The Tezra is apparently his old cargo ship. The other Tellarite is skeptical and seems to think that Scalar is kind of a fool for even trusting the Klingons, and then hangs up on him. After the call is over, a vessel approaches. Archer perks up for a second, thinking that it might be the Enterprise, but unfortunately for him and for Scalar, it is a ship owned by somebody named Kago. Kago is, I don't really know. I didn't recognize the type of alien he was. He just had, bumpy face, white hair. He's played by the same guy who plays Gowron on DS9.
Oh, nice.
Oh, wow.
It turns out that Goroth, who was the Klingon from earlier, sent Kago to intercept their ship and steal the prisoner back. Scalar is not going to be intimidated, though. Like, he's clearly been out this bounty hunting thing for a while. He, knows all the tricks. He can handle himself. And he tells Kago that he can't even do anything to steal Archer back anyway, because if he destroys the shuttle, it will just kill Archer, and then the bounty will be gone. Kago starts shooting phasers at the shuttle anyways. And everything's shaking. There's sparks all over the place. And of course, Archer is like, if you just let me out of here, I could fly the ship. And then you could make repairs. And, if you don't let me out, we're all going to die. Mm-hmm. Yep. And inexplicably, like it does every single time, I swear this is the third time that he has done this exact same move. Scalar lets him out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Immediately after getting the controls, Archer takes them out of warp and starts heading towards this L-class planet. Scalar is very just what the fuck are you doing? But Archer's look, I think I can lose him in the atmosphere. And I did look up, do you guys know what an L, because I was I don't know what an L-class planet is. I had to look it up.
I don't remember. I'm assuming not quite as good as M-class, but still sort of okay for
that's basically it.
Has the potential for a life, but not there yet.
Yeah, it's breathable atmosphere so that we can see all of our actors' faces, but still environmentally hostile, so it feels very dangerous.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
This particular planet, it has this very thick, cloudy atmosphere, and that's what Archer's hey, if I go in this, they won't be able to see us, and so we'll be able to escape him. Unfortunately, it doesn't really block sensors. So Archer launches one of those decoy beacons, the same one that was used against the Enterprise earlier. And then we see it is successful. We see the Scalar shuttle goes to the left and the beacon goes right. And then we see Kago's ship go to the right following the beacon. Archer then goes back around, back behind Kago, and shoots them, and knocks out his engine, and forces him to make an emergency landing. But Scalar's well, glad you did that, but...
Thanks, get back in the brig.
Here's my gun, get back in jail.
Actually, like, we're kind of fucked because our life support was damaged and it can only be fixed from outside the shuttle. So they also have to make an emergency landing. But Archer does make sure to land 1,000 kilometers away from where Kago landed, so they shouldn't, like, risk running into him on this planet.
Yeah, that'd be awkward.
Yeah.
And then we learned Archer doesn't know the difference between kilometers and centimeters.
I would love to tell you what happens next, but unfortunately, we have a B-plot we need to get to. You guys, I'm so sorry. So sorry. Phlox is taking a nap, and suddenly we see T'Pol's hands rubbing his neck and then, like, reaching inside his shirt. And Phlox wakes up in alarm.
I do not like this one bit.
Oh, God. Sorry, I'm dreading this. T'Pol says that Phlox needs another gel treatment. And again, like Jarrah just said, confirming that gel treatments are sexy.
I don't like any of it.
And not just like a medical thing.
On the plus side, this would lead Phlox to develop the innovation of decontamination spray.
Yeah.
We can only hope.
And this is the special gel that has a warming factor to it when you start to rub your hands together.
I don't like this at all.
And Phlox is like, one, it is not needed for another 3 hours. And two, I can apply it myself.
Yeah.
Damn, woman, I just gave you love 5 minutes ago.
It's true. Sorry.
Oh, sweet mystery of life. At last I found.
Very Gene Wilder heavy episode this week.
He then sits up and he starts reaching for the sedatives. But
we see that Decon is now filled with candles and rose petals.
You said reaching for, that's not where I thought it's gonna go.
T'Pol crawls over the table. So basically he's laying on like a table.
Okay.
Because he was sleeping, and he sits up. So now he's seated up on one end of the table and like reaching to get a sedative to sedate T'Pol. And then she does this like animalistic, like crawls over the table to him.
Yeah.
And then sits like facing him, straddling the table with her legs like straddling him.
Her name is Rio and she dances.
And she says she doesn't need more rest. The only way that I can describe what she is doing with her body is writhing. Like, she is just like, her body will not stop moving in this, like, sexed up way.
I take it back. I am so glad Jamie got this episode. It is even more enjoyable watching Jamie try to get through this explainer. Bill, you'd have enjoyed it too much.
Oh, I'd have had the music on in the background. Let me just play you some Barry White here while I describe it.
T'Pol asks him if he finds her attractive. And Phlox, looking profoundly uncomfortable and squirming out of her grasp, tells her that he does find her attractive, but that still does not make this okay. And they are colleagues, and this is against regulations.
Wow, that's the first time anybody has ever said that on Enterprise ever.
T'Pol points out that those are Starfleet regulations, and neither of them are technically Starfleet.
She's not wrong, however.
Meanwhile, T'Pol is doing her best to try to tempt him. At one point, she, like, stretches her arms above her head and, like, juts out her chest, and she breathes, "You have no idea what you're denying yourself."
She takes out a blueberry pancake and holds it towards his face. Where the hell did you get that?
But Phlox is not going to be talked into this, and he recognizes that something is very, very, very wrong with T'Pol. But she says that this is actually totally normal for Vulcans in her condition. Her condition? The pathogen apparently triggered Punfar.
Called it.
Yes. Well, I feel like that was one of the first flight, 2 truths and a lie, I think.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
Just in case our listeners don't know, Jarrah, since you're our guest, can you explain what exactly Ponfar is?
Yeah, so Ponfar is the Vulcan mating cycle where about every 7 years they need to procreate or else fight to the death. And that gets everyone over their boner.
So I do have some questions, and the first is, because I know all the things we're going to get from T'Pol, but I'm just kind of wondering, like, what is their behavior usually while under Ponfar?
Well, I mean, that's the thing. In TOS, in the one episode of the original series where it happens, Spock becomes psychotic, essentially. He becomes withdrawn. He actually hijacks the Enterprise so that they can go to Vulcan so that he can perform this ritual. He is not he sort of has a mental break that he has to do. He is compelled to do this.
He throws a bowl of soup and he starts crying, and and he says it's basically super, super shameful. So unless, I mean, it's possible that changes between this timeline and TOS given the changes in Vulcan society, but it's clearly not that shameful. She's just like, this is super, just what happens.
It's Ponfar time, baby!
Actually, that was going to be my next question. She says that people outside of Vulcans don't really know about it, which is why, because Phlox has never heard of this before.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And I found that kind of surprising. But yeah, it sounds like that is like in universe, this is like not something that the Vulcans like to talk about.
Right, because it's so opposite to their normal, like, it's so emotional that they don't like to talk about it at all.
Kirk and Bones both they're completely unaware. This is completely...
It's so uninhibited.
But Phlox, being our most empathetic member of the Enterprise, very seriously tells her that this will remain just between them.
He has finally figured out HIPAA.
Like, you can tell me what's going on, and I'm going to try to help you. I am going to make sure that, like, this does not leave this chamber.
We'll put it in the file with the Borg and the Ferengi, and no one will ever know about it.
Yeah. Oh, what happens in Decon chamber doesn't leave Decon chamber. So, of course, T'Pol tells Phlox that if she doesn't mate with a male, Vulcan or otherwise, she will die. And then the music is literally just like dun dun dun, and then it fades to commercial. So that was another one of my questions, is because you say that Spock basically hijacks the ship, but there's a lot of females.
No, not basically.
On the ship.
He does. He
so he does
ship.
Hijack the ship.
He rigs the ship so that the Enterprise has to fly to Vulcan or it will explode.
He has to go to Vulcan, though. But yeah, Spock insists he has to go to Vulcan to go through the ritual.
Yeah.
With his,
but what you're asking is, why did he not just fuck a human female on, or another female on the Enterprise? Which is a good question, but
it could
not
be different
addressed.
for males and females, perhaps.
He still had enough understanding of the cultural expectations that he's like, oh, and I have a fiance on Vulcan, so I have to go back and mate with her.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense too. If it's just like, there's like a specific, that makes sense that with T'Pol, I mean, T'Pol does have a fiance.
She does have a fiance back on Vulcan, though.
Which worked out really well for everyone involved.
That architect.
She's clearly not into him.
She's very not
considering
into him.
that she fully ran away to hang out with these men.
He's an idiot.
She may just be fully desperate.
T'Pol's Canadian Vulcan fiance.
When we get back from the commercial break cliffhanger, we are now with Archer, who is on the planet with Skalar, and they are chatting while they fix the shuttle. So we get Skalar's whole story. Apparently the other Tellarite that he was talking to earlier was his brother, and they used to be cargo haulers on a ship called the Tezra. They were hauling some fire salt and took a shortcut through Klingon space, and the Klingons basically impounded their ship and all of the cargo. And Skalar wants to use the money that he'll get from turning in Archer to basically pay the impound fees so he can get his ship back and quit bounty hunting. He actually really does not like bounty hunting. It seems like he's good at it, but he just, like, ethically, it's difficult for him.
What does he want to do? Does he say what he wants to do? Like, I want to quit bounty hunting.
I mean, he wants to get back into cargo hauling.
Yeah.
I want to sing.
Yeah, exactly.
My real passion is fire salts.
He wants to get back into cargo hauling. That's why he wants his. Apparently, this is like he's like, it's not just any freighter. It's like the greatest freighter. It can go 4.8 warp.
Wow, that is impressive for the time.
That's actually a good freighter.
Yeah, it's actually quite good for a freighter.
We see it, and it's like one of those Japanese customized semi-trucks that has like golden dragons coming off the front of it.
There was like this whole line where he's like, it can haul however many like pounds of stuff. And apparently even like the Enterprise can't go at that speed while hauling that amount of stuff.
It can do the Kessel run and
all he wants is to get the ship back.
Sure.
But as he's telling the story, he starts to notice some smoke from whatever Archer is working on. And instead of fixing the ship, Archer is just fucking it up more in order to prevent them from leaving and then turning him over. And Scalar is pissed, but he says that no matter, he knows how to get it fixed, so he's still going to make it to the rendezvous on time. And then he puts Archer back in that like glowy prison thing. And I'm so sorry. We got to get back to this B plot. T'Pol seems to be waking up from being unconscious. So it seems like Phlox did sedate her. Okay. And she is all sweaty and she's like writhing around on the floor and she goes, I'm hungry.
Get me some plomic broth stat!
Phlox says that food is on its way, but T'Pol clarifies that she wasn't talking about food.
Yeah, boy.
I cannot tell you how much I don't like this.
Phlox says that the serum he gave her will help alleviate her symptoms, but she says there's a better way to do that. And Phlox again just shuts that shit down. But T'Pol just starts begging him, saying it's unethical for him to withhold the cure from her. But there are only so many ways to say no, and he is using all of them. She is then like pressing her body up against his, telling him, don't be frightened. I won't hurt you. And Phlox looks very fucking frightened.
Yeah, Phlox is like, yes, you fucking will.
And he reaches for the hypospray to sedate her, but she grabs it, and so they're fighting over it. But as they're fighting, the comm beeps, and Phlox uses that to distract her enough to push her off him and then answer the comm. It's our boy Trip bringing them some food.
Oh boy.
Phlox goes over. So basically he like pulls the screen to the side and then there's this window so they can kind of talk with the window between them. And underneath there's like a box thing where you can like put items in to send them into Decon.
Phlox is like, help me.
Phlox takes out some items that Trip put into the box. One of the things is food, but then there's also another box that looks suspiciously like it may contain more hyposprays.
Edible underwear, candles, bath salts.
T'Pol then comes over and grabs the food and just starts like shoving it into her mouth with her hands.
Sure.
And Trip can see this from the window and looks very concerned.
Yeah.
And asks Phlox if she's okay. And Phlox tells him that she just has a slight fever. It's nothing to be concerned about. Then he grabs T'Pol's shoulder and like pushes her back. I skipped a lot of the back and forth going between the rooms, but there's kind of two rooms at Decon. There's the blue room, and then there's like another room where you would leave Decon that doesn't have like the blue light.
Like an airlock.
So he pushes her back into like the blue light room and sort of closes the door.
Got it.
So that Trip won't see what she's up
her,
to. Again,
right.
He promised to hide, like to make sure that this doesn't get out.
And if Trip knows, everybody knows.
Yeah. Oh yeah, so he pushes her back. He actually doesn't close the door yet. There's this scene where she's standing like behind the door, just like her body like in this weird angle, and she's just like shoving food into her mouth and like staring at Trip like she's super horny for him. And Phlox just like shuts the divider.
Trip's like, wait. Let's hear her out.
All right. Here's your food: dark chocolates, oysters.
Trip still looks extremely concerned, but right at that moment, he is called back to the bridge because they are reaching the coordinates where they believe that the Tellarite ship is at.
Why the fuck did Trip bring the food? He's the acting captain of the ship.
Great question. Great question.
Trip then heads back to the bridge, but it turns out that the ship they found is not actually Skalar's ship, it's actually Kago's ship. So they calm him, and Trip is like, so hey, like, sorry to bother you, but have you seen like a Tellarite shuttle around here? And Kago is like, how dare you? That bounty is mine. Fuck off. And just hangs up on him.
Oh boy.
He also, at some point, he mentions something about Klingons, like that Klingon bounty or something. And you can see, like, the gears in Trip's head spinning. He does a good, like, thinking hard face as he's, like, putting 2 and 2 together. And then he realizes, the Klingons probably put a bounty on Archer's head. That's what's going on here.
Y'all can't see, but Jarrah's doing a very good thinking hard face right now. It's making me laugh a lot.
I actually just recently saw him in an episode of Terminator Sarah Connor Chronicles, where he's playing a cop who's also trying to figure things out. So, like, I've been recently refreshed on Connor Trinneer's thinking about things hard face.
I love that.
He does do a good thinking hard about things face.
He very much does.
Travis then gets one of his 2 contractual lines of the episode to say that they are 6 light years away from Klingon space, and Trip tells them to go into warp and head in that direction, since they don't really know where Skalar's taking Archer, but they assume it's probably in Klingon space.
I hate how they give Travis these throwaway lines that are just
I
like,
know.
here's where we are. Let me tell you about where the ship is in relationship to something else, and that's it.
Great would it be if Travis like, well, we're 6 light years away from Klingons.
Yeah, like, I almost didn't even write that part down, but then I'm like, I gotta put Travis's line in. It turns out he does get another line at the end. I don't think I bothered to write that one down, but it's kind of like the same deal.
Yeah.
He gives the exposition lines.
Right.
Meanwhile, Skalar apparently got his shuttle running because he is like heading into a space station to see his brother, because apparently he needs some technobabble something to fix the shuttle thing that Archer broke. These brothers are not on good terms. Skalar tries to convince him to help him because then they could get their ship back. And the brother says there's nothing to get back. Their old ship has already been stripped for parts by the Klingons.
Bastards.
Finally, the brother's like, I'm going to give you this thing that you need, but only if you promise to leave and never come back.
Ooh.
Aww. I really like Skalar a lot. He's kind of the bright point of this episode. And the whole thing with the brother, like, it's clear, even from this is the only, they have the one conversation, and then this is the only scene we get of them together. You can tell there's like a whole history there, that they clearly used to be very close and like ran this whole freighter business, like the 2 of them together. And ever since the Klingon thing, it's just not been the same, and their relationship may never get back to what it was. And you can tell that like the other brother has kind of given up on it, but Skalar like has this belief that like if he can just get this ship back, he can get his brother back. Like it's very clear, like it's more about like repairing his relationship with his brother than it really is about like quitting bounty hunting and being a cargo hauler.
Oh.
That does sound like the most compelling part of this episode.
It really is. And that's why it's so, he's just like, Archer, I don't even care if you're innocent. I get, like, this sucks for you. But, like,
this is a means to an end.
I've fallen on some bad times too. And, like, you can just see, like, he wants this so badly. Skalar looks devastated by this. And of course, this just gives Archer more ammunition to try another talking his way out of trouble tactic. So Archer's just like, oh, like, you hate the Klingons? I hate the Klingons too. So, like, why would you hand me over to the Klingons if we both hate the Klingons so much and we're now bonding over that? Skalar actually is kind of starting to look a bit more amenable to this line of thinking. Especially because, like, it's clear that this dream that he had, that he's going to, like, turn over Archer and get his ship back, like, that's gone.
The solution he wants isn't happening, so he needs another plan.
But we do not find out what happened next because we gotta cut back to this Decon chamber plot. Phlox is messing with whatever was in that container that Trip delivered to him. It definitely looks like it's like a hypo spray. And
good.
T'Pol is wandering around, dragging herself along the walls and like pressing her body up along the walls. Like it's very uncomfortable.
That's what we
to see.
all do when we want some.
Oh yeah, when I'm horny, the first thing I do is slide up against a wall.
Paul's having a very bad reaction to this new Decon gel. Like, I don't know what I put in there, but
Like, why didn't he just give him a phaser? Set that shit to stun her, keep her in there. And he doesn't have to break her confidence. He could just be like, I'm a little concerned about the way that this is infecting her. I just want to make sure we're safe here.
Yeah, she could injure me or herself. I'm going to need something to be able to stun her if it comes down to that. Especially because on Star Trek, stunning really is just like sedating somebody. It's just like not a big deal. You just wake up and then you're fine.
No
No one ever
whatsoever.
hits their head when they fall. Like nothing. Anyway, so she's writhing up against the wall. And then she drops to the ground and she starts like crawling towards Phlox, like with her body like rubbing against the ground and begging Phlox to let her out. And then she starts like completely freaking out. She's like crying and screaming about how it's so hot in there and she doesn't want any more of his medications. And he tries to calm her down. Because he's got the hypo spray from the bot, and he's clearly, it's like some sort of serum, and he's like,
This will help you.
Trying to give it to her, and she's like, no, I don't want that.
I hate this so much.
I know, I'm so sorry.
I feel so bad for Jolene who has to do this.
Truly. I cannot get across, when you see her, it is like hard to even watch her. The things that they have this poor woman doing.
Who directed this episode, I wonder?
LeVar Burton, what?
No, I can't believe LeVar Burton would have done that.
I don't know.
Oh my God, guys, it's so much worse. It's Roxanne Dawson.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So are they also like, do you think this is supposed to be a comedy subplot? And is it like, oh, this is hilarious?
It doesn't feel like it's being played for comedy. It is, in fact, quite funny just because, like, and there's funny moments, and it is funny. Like, seeing her writhe up against the wall is genuinely just very funny. But they're not playing this as, like, like, hypersexualized woman is trying to rape the man who doesn't want it. How hilarious. It is played more like a
We got over that in season 1.
Right.
Yeah. Well, actually, I think I kind of prefer that it's played like a horror, but it's still...
Yeah. It feels like Phlox is in danger. It's very much like Phlox is stuck in this place that he can't leave, which wood is essentially like a caged animal that is trying to get out. And also trying to fuck him, I guess.
Yeah. Trying to fuck him and then get out.
So Phlox tries to calm her down and starts to come near her with the hypo spray in his hand. And she starts like flailing her arms to stop him from getting near her. She's just like, whoa, like just like flailing her arms at his face so that he can't get too close. I know T'Pol's really strong, but it does like look so silly. It is very funny to see, but in this way where you're just like so uncomfortable.
Right.
But Phlox looks real scared. He really like sells it. He finally gives in and gives her the code to unlock the door to Decon. T'Pol runs over to the door and starts to put the code in. And as she's doing this, Phlox tries to sneak up behind her to hypospray her from behind. Yeah. But she turns around and pushes him against the wall, which knocks him out.
Oh, no.
I don't know if I forgot to... I must have missed this part, but this is not her natural time to go into Ponfar. It was triggered early by the pathogen, and he believes that he's now developed the serum that should like undo the symptoms of the Ponfar so that she can get back on her usual Ponfar cycle. But it only works if he can get it in her.
So to speak.
Sorry, I did... That was not purposeful. I apologize for that one.
Oh, she needs an injection, all right.
So anyways, he gets knocked out. She tries the code he gave her on the door again, but of course it was a fake. So then she just like takes, because it's like a code panel, she takes like her fingernails on the side of the panel and just like pulls it off the wall. And there are sparks everywhere. Wait, was that how Trip got out? In that one?
Yeah, he pulled it off and like,
he
did some stuff.
Oh,
yeah, he hotwired it.
This is, she pulls it out and then she's immediately able to open the door.
Oh. Great. Good design, everybody.
Phlox starts to come to just in time to see her running out of Decon. He sees her like she leaves, and then we see her like running down a hall. It is quite funny.
In her underwear.
And then in her underwear. And then Phlox goes to the comm, and he calls the bridge to tell them to evacuate D deck.
Evacuate the whole goddamn deck entirely.
Emergency alert, all crew to escape.
Or maybe all men, right?
Wow.
Yeah, I get that she does have a contagious pathogen, but it does kind of seem like he's just like, evacuate, because she's just going to try to fuck everyone when she comes in contact with. It's also, it is the D deck.
Is Yakety Sax playing in the background?
It's D deck.
It is D deck. Oh, God, okay. When we get back from commercial break, Malcolm is leading a 3-person security team to find T'Pol.
I'm so upset that I think I'm going to be wrong about my 2 truths and a lie, and this scene is going to come. It's going to show up, and I'm going to hate every minute of it.
And they all have environmental suits on, which again, it is presumably because of the pathogen, but it does also work to prevent her from trying to fuck them.
Oh yeah, good call.
Yeah.
The 3 guys, they split up. So Malcolm's on his own.
Great
and
plan.
then we see T'Pol. She comes around a corner. She's still doing her like wall thing. She cries out.
How that direction was given.
T'Pol loves a wall, man.
Yeah.
Quite literally.
That girl loves a wall.
This whole episode, every time, even when she's just standing, she's like moving her shoulders up and down and just like and like moving her body in like a wave. Yeah, like an undulating way just the whole time. And it is very clear that she got this direction from whoever, I guess from
Roxanne Dawson.
Roxanne Dawson. Oh,
or the writers. Yeah, I don't know. I'll believe it's Roxanne. That's fine.
It is extremely uncomfortable to watch.
Yeah.
So she comes around the corner as she's like holding onto the wall and she cries out, "Stinky." No. I'm so sorry.
No.
Wait, that happened in a dream? Okay, we're back in the dream sequence.
No, I apologize. I made that up. She cries out, "Malcolm."
Okay, good.
God.
Well played.
How much of my brain is occupied by things that happen in dream sequences in Star Trek Enterprise?
Are we in a dream sequence?
But she cries out, "Malcolm." And she looks very unstable. And it's like, and it seems like she's holding onto the wall to like hold herself up. Otherwise, like, she's so horny, she'll just like fall to the floor. She is. So she comes up to him and immediately starts like rubbing her hands all over his body.
But he's in a
EV suit.
EV suit?
Yeah, he's in an EV suit. And she goes, "I need your assistance." And she asks him,
"Please state the nature of the medical emergency."
She tells him that Phlox is refusing to treat her. And then she asks him, "How long has it been?" And he's like, since what?" And she goes,
"Since you've been with a woman."
"Since you've mated."
Okay, close enough.
Yep. "I've seen the way you look at me on the bridge."
I hear you like my bum.
Do you think I have a nice bum?
Malcolm has a horrified look on his face.
Excellent.
I can see he's just like, wait, no. I was doing just that to just get people off the real side.
Yeah.
This was not something I actually wanted.
I do not want this.
Oh, I know that look. That's the look he gave Hoshi when she dropped into his room topless.
Yeah, it's the exact same look. And
yeah.
when she realizes that this is not going to happen, and she's, by the way, this whole time as she's rubbing him, she's also like taking her hands around his helmet, seeing like as though she's trying to like take his helmet
find
off.
a way to get it off. Yeah.
But
so
when she figures out, like, this is not happening, Malcolm is not going to fuck her right there in the hallways of the Enterprise. She then gets an angry look on her face and she pushes him against the wall and runs away. But Malcolm's security team is somehow able to kind of get her surrounded. And then she yells something in Vulcan while running at Malcolm to attack him. And he just shoots her with a phaser and stuns her.
Just shoot her.
Thank God, guys. It's like the end of this. She has been stunned. We're done. We're done. We're done.
Hoshi shows up and starts furiously tapping her on the wrist.
After he stuns her, Malcolm goes over and bends down to check her pulse at her neck. And I know, like, obviously that is the thing that you'd want to do.
Right.
But then it sort of cuts back to, like, whatever Archer's doing. There is a moment where you're like, was she dead?
Did he fucking kill her?
Did she die?
Also, like you said, they're apparently developing a serum that should just, like, take care of this whole thing.
Dehornify.
Unponfar.
Anti-Viagra, yeah.
The anti-sexy drug.
It's just a photograph of Boris Johnson.
Oh my God.
Deep cut. What a pull.
Sorry. It was the least sexy person I could think of on the fly.
Over in Archerland, Skalar has handcuffed Archer and is handing him off to Goroth. Goroth, remember, is the Klingon from the beginning.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And Goroth gives him his payment. Skalar checks it and sees that it is only 6,000 Darsecs. Remember, he was promised 9,000.
Yes, he was.
The fuck are my 3,000?
Now he really looks devastated. Because, again, like, it's clear that he definitely has moral qualms about working for a bounty hunter for the Klingons, and was doing it because he kind of feels he has no choice. And then he's, like, still getting fucked over by the Klingons. Right. And you can just, like, see it on his face. He's just like, oh, right, they got me again. The Klingons have already taken everything from me. And like, they took my ship, they took my cargo, they ruined my relationship with my brother, and now they can't even like pay me what they said they would pay me for this thing that I didn't even want to do, and I feel kind of guilty doing.
Enterprise Klingons really suck.
I know.
Enterprise Klingons might suck more than Enterprise Vulcans, and Enterprise Vulcans suck.
As soon as the Klingons leave, we see Skalar hail the Enterprise. But we don't see what goes on there yet, because instead we see Archer is sitting in a cell on the Klingon ship. He's got handcuffs on, but they're like the really big, thick handcuffs. I think the same ones that we saw in the like prison ship episode. Mm-hmm. And he like puts them up to his mouth and like puts his mouth on them. It like looks like he's like Frenching the cuffs.
I feel like that's unhygienic. You don't know where those handcuffs have been.
They immediately come undone. And if you look closely, you can see there was like something in he's holding like something in his mouth.
Okay.
And he then like breaks the cuffs open, and inside the cuffs, there's like some device.
Oh,
and then he takes the device and he puts it on the wall door, and it like blinks and beeps and then opens the door to his cell.
Oh. Just opens the door. I was expecting it to like explode or something. Like it was a little explosive or something.
It seems like it because it goes beep, 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 beep. Like it's about to explode. And then it's just the door slides open. Yeah.
They couldn't afford the explosion effect.
Also, his fingernails weren't long enough.
Right.
Yeah. But now there's just alarms going off all over the place. So a Klingon immediately finds him. There's a bit of a scuffle. Archer's able to knock him out by hitting him in the head with the cuffs, which he like still is holding for some reason. Then he steals his phaser and runs off. But oh no, 2 more Klingons come after Archer. They try to shoot him. He dives to the floor and he does this like rolling maneuver and then shoots both of them. It's kind of ridiculous. But none of that does any good because he is apparently still trapped in the prison section of the ship. He like goes to the door and it's like locked and he can't get out. And then another Klingon finds him and they're shooting at each other. And that Klingon tells him that even if he gets out, there is not another planet for 50 light years, which is patently untrue because they literally just said that the other planet was like 6 light years away. Not to mention, 50 light years is so far. We learned a little while ago that the Enterprise was 120 miles from Earth, like halfway through season 2. So 50 light years is like so big. I'm like, come on. But I think maybe the Klingon is just like thrown out a big number.
Fucking with them. Yeah. Also, you got to get over the light year thing, man. We're just
So
you gotta
sorry.
let it go. You gotta let it go. We know it's bullshit. None of it makes sense. It's literally, as Phil said, it's the number of light years they need to make the plot work. Is what it turns out to be.
But they keep telling us, "Oh, we're this far from Earth. We're this far."
Jamie?
In this episode, they said they were 6 light years away, and then immediately were like, "No planets within 50 light years."
100%
In the same episode. Anyways, Archer then runs through this teeny tiny little door thing and closes it behind him. And apparently, he turns the thing. I guess that locks it in now. The Klingon can't get through. And also, apparently, that tiny door was the door to an escape pod.
There is an escape pod!
Even though T'Pol said that Klingons do not have escape pods, which we all
What a
clocked
surprise.
as
Of course they fucking have escape pods!
not true. So he immediately, and again, like on other ships, I mean, maybe it's an escape pod thing. Maybe escape pods don't have security, but he is just able to take it right, immediately leaves with it.
They haven't labeled escape pods for idiots. It's just an airlock, and Archer is shunted out into space immediately.
It says escape pod in English. In Klingon, it says, do not fucking use it as an escape pod.
But the Klingons go after it and immediately catch it in their tractor beam. And then we hear the music swell and the Enterprise shows up just in time to save the day. They shoot the Klingon ship and the Klingons just turn off the tractor beam for whatever reason. I don't know. Maybe the tractor beam part got hit or something, and start charging their weapons. And there's a good old fashioned ship fight, pew pew. They're shooting at each other. The Enterprise swings around the Klingon ship and then swings by the escape pod and shoots its grappler out and catches it and then flies off with it in its grappler.
Oh, they grappled him. I thought for sure they were going to transport him. All right, grappler. All right.
Yeah, I thought they were going to do that too.
Okay, that would have been really smart.
Yeah.
Well, they probably have shields up.
Yeah, they
because
probably don't
they're
know
in
how to,
firefight.
they probably aren't comfortable enough locking onto him. Also, I know, I just had the thought, when you said the music swells, can you imagine if every time there was, the Enterprise shows up and the music swells, it was Faith of the Heart? It would be amazing.
All right, it is time to check in on T'Pol. She is lying on the floor of the Decon chamber, and we see the light switch from the Decon blue to just normal lighting. And Phlox wakes her up and tells her that the pathogen is gone and her premature mating cycle has ended. And she starts to get up and she's looking very dazed, and she quietly asks Phlox if she did anything inappropriate. And Phlox smiles and says that he's had patients treat him far worse.
Aww.
It is genuinely quite sweet.
That's very sweet.
And then T'Pol looks at him and just goes, "Did we?"
Phlox winks and slams the gate shut.
Finger guns.
And Phlox says,
I swear you are a perfect gentleman. Wait, oops.
that Denobulans don't feel comfortable discussing such topics.
Bullshit.
Which is 100% untrue. And also, the episode is about to end, so he never actually answers it, which begs the question, did
Yikes.
T'Pol just go the rest of her life thinking that she fucked Phlox? It is genuinely weird.
That's weird.
That he doesn't answer the question.
Yeah, why would he not just say no?
Because Denobulans feel uncomfortable discussing sex, Maria. Everything we have ever seen about Phlox is total
Shit.
sex.
They all just want to talk about nothing but sex. All the time, as far as I can tell.
Well, no, maybe it's Nobulan females are completely okay with it. Nobulan males
Phlox
don't.
always wants to talk about people.
He talks about sex.
Phlox talks about it all the time.
And like the nudity thing, I can understand the nudity thing, or I can understand, like, we've seen him before be propositioned and think about it and turn it down. But he definitely enjoys talking about it. Like, you cannot convince me that he doesn't.
Yeah. This is very weird for Phlox. It's a it was very much like, we need Phlox to have this personality in order for this episode to work.
Well, and it's also like unkind because, like, you know, he knows that
100%.
he committed to not letting this get out.
Right.
And he can, like, alleviate her discomfort. And he just chooses not to.
It's weird.
It feels like they just thought that line was funny and decided to put it in, even though it doesn't make any sense.
I'm sorry. Can you imagine just being like, hey, I was really drunk. Did we actually have sex? And the guy or the person goes, I just don't feel comfortable answering that question. What the fuck?
It's a deleted scene where Phlox goes, it was just hand stuff over the shirt. I'm okay.
Yeah, it is genuinely so weird. Like, of all the things, there's a lot of things in this episode that I'm just like, oh my God. But I was just like, wait, what?
Yeah, that's
like,
real.
What?
Are you telling me that of all the choices, Enterprise made the weirdest choice?
I don't believe
That's a good point. That's a valid point. Valid point.
So T'Pol now looks quite embarrassed because, again, she believes that she may have had sex with Phlox. But Phlox assures her that he would never violate her privacy. And he says this not in a way like that he wouldn't have done something, but in a way that he promises that he won't tell anybody about it, which is great.
Glad that he's figured out HIPAA.
Yeah. He had to tell people a little bit because she was like literally a danger to other people, but he is not going to get out the full extent of like what she was doing.
But wait, didn't she try to fuck Malcolm?
Yeah. So like, again, like I said, some of it is going to get out, but
Right.
he's not going to let the full extent.
Nobody's going to believe Malcolm.
Yeah, that's true. Good point.
Fair. Malcolm does say there's one point earlier where he says that Phlox told them that she is unstable, like emotionally unstable from the pathogen. But I think like he just didn't tell them about the Ponfar and probably didn't tell them about the sexed up thing. Obviously he got some of that, but
yeah. Well, and if she's saying things like he's refusing to treat me, I need your help, like it doesn't sound like she explicitly said exactly what she wanted.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, she is like rubbing him all over the place and asking him when he last mated.
And the wall thing is a sure sign.
You know, when a lady's up against a wall, you know she wants some.
But Tadala El, we are at the final scene, you guys. We are done. Final scene.
Yay, we made it.
We made it. We survived. Archer is back on the bridge, and everything's getting wrapped up. In a wrap-up scene that we do not usually get. Like, what Enterprise does not do good at wrapping stuff up. It's usually just like, they got saved, the end, bye.
Yep.
No, this is like an actual, like, final wrap-up scene. We learn that the Klingon ship was damaged and headed back to Kronos. Archer asks where T'Pol is, to which Malcolm and Trip look extremely uncomfortable. And just are like, she was in Decon. She was a little sick. She's fine now. Scalar calls and tells Archer to be careful because the Klingons will likely double their bounty. And Archer tells him, hope you won't be the one to collect it. Scalar laughs and says, no promises. Roll credits.
Oh.
Lol.
Oh, and the cleaning crew is down on D-deck cleaning off some very unusual stains on the walls. We can't figure out what's
Who was on this wall? What the hell? Were there Suleiman on this wall?
It's like the sparkles from the Decon gel just everywhere. The glitter is never
There's
coming
glitter
out.
everywhere. It's going to take us years to clean this up. That's the problem with the Decon Gel L is that it has glitter in it. Stuff gets everywhere.
Yeah, Jarrah, I apologize for inviting you here. Like, I'm so sorry.
Made a huge mistake.
I mean, I feel like it was better to process this in a group setting.
Oh, yeah.
We've all shared something today.
I realized after the first time, because usually what I do is I watch it straight the first time. When I'm doing the explainer, I usually don't even take notes. And the first time when I was just like watching it straight, when we were done, I realized like my shoulders hurt because I was like full body cringing in all of these Decon scenes. Because it is watching Jolene Blaylock having to do this like undulating, writhing thing that she does and like rub up on walls and tables and blocks in the floor and like literally like all this like just like rubbing her body on things. Like I just, it was so uncomfortable to watch and like very funny to watch, but in a way where you're like laughing because it's so uncomfortable. And you don't know how else to react.
Woof. All right.
Like I felt like I was stuck in this Decon chamber with them with no escape.
I'm very much looking forward to watching this with Steven when I know what's coming and he doesn't.
It is definitely the worst thing that we have had to experience on this show. And I do not say that lightly.
Yeah.
So every once in a while, my partner will be like, hey, you never really seem to want to watch Enterprise. And so the only episode he's seen is the last one I was on here for, which is 2 days and 2 nights. So I think I'm going to be like, okay, yeah, you're right. I should give it another try and then show him this one and we'll see.
So here's what you do: you watch it with your partner, and then at one point you take out a huge like thing of like antiseptic gel and just
just saying.
Oh my god,
so gross.
I'm glad they gave it like a horror feel, not a comedy feel, because I do feel like there's times when Star Trek does that.
I wonder how much of that was because there was a female director.
I mean, maybe.
I feel like a dude would definitely have played it for laughs more.
I did not watch all of Voyager. Did Roxanne Dawson as a she was Klingon. I'm sorry, she was half.
She was half Klingon.
She's in a Ponfar episode because there's a Vulcan on the ship.
Oh, is she? Okay.
Called Blood. So the episode's called Blood Fever.
Oh,
and he kind of imprints on, like, he's like, I want you to be the person that I mate with when I have Ponfar. And he, like, scratches her, I think, or bites her or something, and it transmits the Ponfar somehow. And then she wants to mate with Paris, and Vorik, the Vulcan's trying to come to mate with her. She bites Paris, and then I think it's Vorik bites her, and Paris is just like, no, I'm not having sex with you. Similar type situation. It also is played kind of like a horror suspense situation. And then she is like, well, instead of asking someone to fight Vorik for me, I'm going to fight him to the death. And it's pretty dope, actually.
Yeah, I remember that episode being very good. I love B'Elanna Torres. I thought she was such a great character, but I do wonder how much of the way this is handled, even though it seems like it was handled super cringe, how that would have been handled if it was a male director.
In both terms of in continuity stuff and fandom, Ponfar is not a topic that is handled sensitively in a lot of circumstances.
No, Ponfar is it's like the get out of jail free card. Like, we can do whatever nonsense we want to do because it's Ponfar.
And Star Trek has also done similar plots with similar tone, like the one where Troy is like rapidly aging and hypersexual is also kind of played like suspense.
And it is like genuinely unnerving to see T'Pol like this. We know what T'Pol's like, and this isn't how T'Pol's supposed to be. And so it is like genuinely kind of scary to see it. And John Billingsley really sells his own fear at being stuck in there with her.
Right. I think that's so interesting because it seems like in this season, the show has tried to do this a bunch where it's like, look at how weird this character is acting. But it's like Archer, who fucking is a complete wild card anyway, so it's hard to be like, we don't know what normal Archer is kind of crazy, so like crazy Archer doesn't give us a whole lot.
Archer wasn't in there with her. Oh my god.
Right? Yeah, I just think it's interesting because it's like T'Pol is one of the characters who I feel like we've had sort of a stable, this is who she is, and it's kind of consistent across the board, whereas a lot of the other characters are not as consistent. Like, what they've done with Phlox makes him very inconsistent, in my opinion, because I think in the past he's been very consistent in how he's been, and this changes his personality. So it's kind of interesting to see. I am interested to watch it, even though I feel like I'm going to be very cringy.
Yeah, and then the Scalar Archer storyline was not bad. I mean, Archer was super annoying in it. So the worst parts of it is like literally everything that Archer does. just he's so smarmy, and you just see him going through like, oh, let me make small talk with you. Oh, that doesn't work. Just like changing tactics. What if I try bribe? And it just is so, I just don't like him. And I understand that he's like about to be executed or whatever, but he's just so annoying as a character, and he's so annoying in these scenes. But then on the other hand, Scalar was so good, and the actor that played him was great. I looked up the actor, and he just has like, he's one of those guys that has like 100 one-off TV roles like this one. But it also said he's mostly a Shakespearean stage actor. And I was like, yes. Like I just looked him up.
I recognize this face.
Patrick
for
Stewart?
Sure.
Who is this?
His name is Jordan Lund, and you will recognize him for sure. He's been in a billion things. Yeah.
But yeah, he was so good. I mean, even like the stuff with the brother, again, like it was subtle. Like when you're thinking back to this episode, that's just not what this other stuff just takes up everything. It just like,
yeah.
I like feel bad for him that he did such a great performance in just such an awful episode. 2 truths and a lie outcome. We learn that Phlox does feel very uncomfortable with nudity, and T'Pol does beg Malcolm to fuck her, and he refuses. But we do not get confirmation about Klingons not having escape pods. In fact, we get the opposite. We get confirmation that Klingons do have escape pods. And T'Pol, again, is very likely truly just being racist against Klingons, like always.
Yep.
Literally everything she says about Klingons is not true.
Yeah, she just doesn't. She didn't read the brief correctly.
Porthos good boy scale. How good a boy was Porthos on this episode? There was no Porthos, which usually I would be upset by, but honestly, Porthos, I'm just glad that he stayed as far away from the events of this episode.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen Porthos in Decon before, and we did not need him in that. He did not need to be any part of that.
All right. The saucy section. How sexy was this episode? On a scale from...
I cannot wait to hear the scale!
I know I never do scales. The reason I never do scales is because I get stressed out trying to think of not sexy and sexy things in Star Trek universe. But I realized I don't have to do Star Trek universe. So I got a sexy scale. My first ever sexy scale. How sexy was this episode? From the Coldplay couple to TJ and Amy.
Don't even know what those references are. We'll look them up later.
I got the Coldplay couple.
Jamie, all of my references are from the 80s. Thank you so much.
So this is I wrote this and I'm like, no one is even going to understand what I'm talking about. And I was like, of course they will. I kept going back and forth in my head. TJ and Amy were the Good Morning America hosts that were fired for having an affair. And when I tell you, every couple of months, I just look up to like see what's up with them because they are objectively very sexy together.
Oh, I know. And I know who the Coldplay couple is now.
Oh my God, I'm like obsessed with TJ and Amy. It's been like 3 years and they're still together and now they're going to get married and they're like running marathons together. Also, I want to say it's not dark because even though it did hurt the people they were having affairs with at the beginning, their exes bonded over being the spurned partner, fell in love themselves, and now are also still been together for 3 years.
Oh my God.
So
it
truly is a love story.
That's very rom-com.
Like, how is that not a movie already?
Do you understand why I'm obsessed with these two?
Yeah, that's awesome.
So I think it may have been Bill that once said that this show is horny but not sexy.
Sounds like something I would say.
100% this episode. The camera work on the T'Pol scenes definitely is trying to make it sexy. Again, it does have horror feel, but it has like sexy horror feel.
Sure.
But it is so far from sexy. Not the least of which, it is also basically an attempted rape storyline. And T'Pol just looks ridiculous. Like, she doesn't look sexy. She looks ridiculous. The show knows that this is an attempted rape storyline. That's why it's playing it for horror. But then it also tries to make it sexy at the same time. And that just makes it worse.
Weird. Yeah.
Well, Alan Moore at one point talking, like when he wrote From Hell, and he talked about, he tried to get away from this. All of these stories try to eroticize the violence against the women. And that's the phrase that has stuck in my head.
Yeah.
All right. Never asked, never answered for something in the episode that made no sense and was never explained.
Where to start?
The whole Kago thing was confusing to me. I get that Kago is a fellow bounty hunter and he's trying to steal Archer so that then he can get the bounty. But the Klingons were the ones that told him where Skalar was. And I'm like, well, is it because they told him they'd pay him less or something?
Right.
Kago specifically says like he's doing this to get the bounty for himself, but also that he only is there and knows about it because the Klingon called him and told him to go. I was like really confused about it especially because it seems like sending a second bounty hunter after the first bounty hunter would just increase the odds that like Archer gets killed or escapes. Like, it seems like a bad idea.
Right.
Once Archer is already in custody. And even if they were like, so this guy, we're going to pay him less if he can get him. Like, they were planning on just cheating them anyway. So at that point, like, who cares?
Do we know why the Klingons want Archer alive?
They can't execute him if he's dead.
So you can't kill Archer so that you can humiliate him, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, and he has to like go to court. They have due process.
I mean, but he's been to court, so...
But he's got to do another due process for escaping jail. That's a whole separate crime.
They're not big into due process. I assume they just want to throw him into jail.
It's TV logic, so you can't just kill the fucker and bring the body back. That's it.
I don't understand why they didn't get him themselves. Like, why are they contracting out?
Wait, because
this,
Enterprise Klingons suck. They really suck. They're bad Klingons.
Technical difficulties, which is our catch-all category for whatever technical stuff we want to talk about. I reached out to former pod guest Topher from our Night in Sick Bay episode and spoiler upcoming podcast, B. Brookshire, both of whom know a lot about medicine and anatomy, to ask them about some of the things in this episode and whether they are scientifically accurate.
You wanted to ask them about anatomy in this episode? All right.
Nice.
I think twice it's mentioned from Phlox that the pathogen is attacking the limbic system in T'Pol, which Topher said is the structure in the brain that regulates emotions, motivation, memory, and a few other things. And when that part of the brain is damaged, it does cause profound behavioral and personality changes, such as dysregulated emotions, unusual behaviors, memory lapses. He says it's also plausible that it could throw someone's sex drive completely out of whack and mess with their ability to make socially acceptable choices. So actually, like, surprisingly accurate to like what we see of T'Pol, even just aside from like the Ponfar stuff. It seems, and it kind of seems like Ponfar might affect that system.
Right.
And so if
Of
this
course.
is affecting that too, that it makes sense that it might have triggered it. B pointed out that another good sci-fi reference where the limbic system plays a big role is with River Tam in Firefly, whose erratic behavior, trauma-related behaviors, memory issues also apparently in the show are attributed to an issue with her limbic system.
Cool.
And also, I guess, fear-related behavior, limbic system also. And we do see that in this episode where, like, T'Pol also shows, like, a lot of fear.
Right.
So, anyways, yeah, it all surprisingly tracks really well. I was very surprised. I thought I was, like, joking around with them. And they were like, no, this actually kind of makes sense. Even, like, the memory issues at the end where she couldn't even remember, like, limbic system, also known for memory.
Cool.
So it definitely seems like whoever was like the Dr. McDonald of Enterprise was doing some very good science advising for this episode.
All right.
I also asked them about Decon Gel E and whether it could plausibly help destroy.
You don't want to mess with that shit. It'll screw you up bad.
Whether it could destroy a pathogen that, remember, is in T'Pol's brain.
Yep.
With a topical ointment.
Yep.
Topher said that the blood-brain barrier is very hard to cross and skin is even worse, so topical gel would be the least plausible way to get the drug to her brain.
They have in the past, like, done their ears, so maybe, like, they went into the ears. Yeah, it's still not going to go through the blood-brain barrier.
Gave him a wet willy to cure horniness.
Yep, the wet willy for horniness.
He says that a pillar injection would work better, though counterpoint, way less sexy.
Less sexy.
Pillar injection sounds very sexy.
Depends on the kind of pillar, I guess.
B pointed out that maybe the main ingredient in Decon Gel E is actually DMSO, which is a substance that apparently is very good at getting drugs to penetrate skin. To which Topher pointed out that it is so good at getting things to penetrate the skin that it is illegal in the EU.
Which was destroyed in World War III during the eugenics wars.
Because it transports everything. So basically, I guess what it does is like, any other substance that it touches, it will then transport through the skin with it, which makes it quite dangerous. B countered that that's exactly why she suggested it, because it would have been hilarious to have it cause a whole bunch of substances to get into Paul, and the next thing you know, she's running around with a temporal anomaly and half of medbay in her.
She just sneezes and glitter comes out.
I know.
I love that you made scientists fight over this.
I think that clearly this Decon Gel is just MDMA, where everybody is just rubbing themselves against everything.
I like it. Yeah.
Topher and B, thank you so much for answering all my frankly ridiculous science questions.
Y'all are awesome.
And do you want to mention for our listeners that B is the author of the book Pests, How Humans Create Animal Villains, which you all should have already read because I did recommend it like a long time ago. But it's somehow you missed it.
It's such a good book, you guys.
Yeah, it's very, very good, very funny, and you learn stuff.
Yep.
What the creepiest thing Phlox said this episode? Honestly, despite all the weird stuff happening around Phlox, he didn't really say or do anything weird or creepy or even overly
the creepy
sexual.
Stuff happened to him.
Yeah, if anything, it was the opposite. Yeah, it proved that he is the most empathetic and kind character on this show, a show which could frankly really use a lot more of that. And even though these scenes are completely ridiculous and I feel so bad for Jolene Blaylock, he is so good in them.
Yeah.
Yes, Chef for mentions of Chef. When Trip brings T'Pol and Phlox food, Trip does say that Chef made it. And the food looks like when T'Pol's shoving it into her mouth with her hands, it looks like it's like a quinoa with vegetables in it. It actually looks quite good. Where is HR? The segment inspired.
We don't have time for that, Jamie.
The section that is inspired by a Women at Warp episode that Jarrah was on, which is a great episode, and you all should go listen to it. I'll probably put the link in the show notes. Yeah, where to start? Clearly a hostile situation for Phlox, but I mean, T'Pol's not doing any of this on purpose. She's clearly like not okay, but I just feel like this stuff should be planned for. Like, there are times when multiple people in their underwear might be stuck in decon chamber apparently for hours together. So maybe there should be some sort of safety system in place, something that you can do if you feel unsafe, where you can like block yourself off from other people. Yeah, something.
I mean, they added a privacy shield, Jamie. Like a privacy curtain.
They could just make a second room.
Well, I mean, this gets into the larger issue of they have decon. What if different people have different
decon needs? Yeah,
like you need to. Yeah, you need. Yeah. All right, not a big ship. All right.
So then the other thing is, why did it take so long to put this privacy curtain in place? Which again is just a curtain. It's not like a fancy futuristic. It is a shower curtain essentially.
I love it.
And even with the curtain, like the Phlox had no way. You could tell he wanted to be able to do the gel by himself, but there's apparently no way to put the gel on all by yourself. I'm just like, this is the future. Invent something, like take a stick with like the loofah thing that you can like get your back.
Yeah, there are ways to do it today.
There's only like a small part of your back that you can't, that's like hard to reach. Like there has to be a way to solve this.
A solvable problem.
Instead of just like the only way to do it is to like rub down our coworkers.
Yeah. Going back to sunscreen analogy, they figured out sunscreen you can spray on yourself.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Marco for mentions of water polo. Surprisingly, despite the fact that Archer talks so much in this episode, he never once mentions water polo.
Maybe the bloom is coming off of the water polo rose for Archer.
All right, so finally, we are at the segment of our show that we like to call Whales Hollow Recs, brought to you by Eric Trademark, where we each give our recommendations for non-Enterprise related content that we have been consuming in our holodecks this week. Jarrah, as the guest, would you like to go first?
Sure. So, I'm hopefully someone's already brought this forward to the podcast. What can I choose if not Heated Rivalry? It was my holiday binge watch, and just delightful. You don't need to know anything about hockey. There's so little hockey in it. It's just like pure queer joy.
Wait, if it's not about hockey, what could it be about? All I'm seeing is hockey images in my news stories.
Joy and the most perfect buttocks in humankind.
The most perfect. Unreasonably perfect buttocks.
Jarrah, we have been talking about Heated Rivalry on the show for a year. Because I read that book 2 years ago and have been obsessed with it since then. I was bringing updates to this podcast. I'd be like, quick recommendation update. Heated Rivalry is going to be made into a TV show. Like I was updating this podcast for every moment of Heated Rivalry. I always would bring it up as this little thing that like, I'm just going to bring it up because I'm obsessed with it and nobody else cares. Right. And now it is just everywhere. And it's weird.
So much.
It is very strange to me to see other people talking about Heated Rivalry, and it makes me so happy.
And it's done so well. And it's really, they really did such a good job of the show. I love it.
Well, and obviously here in Canada, there's like whole rivalry now between 3 cities that are competing to be the official birthplace of Shane Hollander. The Prime Minister took some like jokey suggestive photos with the actor that plays Hollander, and
that
overall
makes me so happy.
Yeah, there's all kinds of just delight happening.
I love it. I love it so much. Thank you for bringing it up again, because I never ever get tired of talking about Heated Rivalry. All right, Maria, what is your recommendation?
Okay, you guys. All right, so I watched this movie a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, okay, this is kind of a fun movie. And then at the end of the movie, like, it's one of those movies that starts and it's like based on a true story. And you're like, okay, whatever. This is, I mean, probably kind of, but at the end of the movie, in the credits, they show clips of people talking about what happens. And it seems like this movie is exactly what happened, and it is wild. The movie is called Roof Man.
Oh, I keep hearing about that.
It is, it stars Channing Tatum as basically a robber named Jeffrey Manchester, who would basically go onto the roofs of fast food restaurants or whatever, and he would basically break the roof and jump into the roof.
I keep hearing about this movie, Roofer, and I had no idea what it was about, but I know that story. I know about the roof guy who was
correct.
like into like McDonald's and stuff, right? Yep. In like, it was like fast food restaurants.
Yes, exactly. That is correct. And in the movie, he's like this, he's actually like super kind to he actually finds people in there and is like, no, I don't want to hurt you. Anyway, all of it is true. This movie is wild. Like, it is absolutely wild. It's such a fun movie. Highly recommend. Roof Man. I'm not going to tell you too much about it because it's so much more fun to watch it and then be like, oh shit, this actually really happened. It's great. I loved it.
Yeah, I've heard like the real story, and yeah, that he was like really nice, and then people would be like, oh yeah, like he came in, but he was like so sweet to us, to like the police when they're like reporting it.
Yeah, and they talk to a lot of the people who are that are based on characters in the movie, and every one of them is like, yeah, he was super nice, and he did this, and we really loved him, and he was part of our community, and it's just lovely.
I love that.
Roofman, just watch it. It's really fun.
All right, Bill, what is your recommendation?
My recommendation is a video game from 2022 called Cult of the Lamb.
Great game.
It is a roguelike game where you play a cute little lamb dude who is sacrificed by these evil bishops because they are trying to prevent the return of an evil god. But guess what? You get brought back up. Part of the game is you have to go on little crusades to collect resources and things, but then you have to come back and manage your cult. So you have to make sure that they have enough food to eat, but you also get to indoctrinate them and make them follow your rules. It is a very, very fun game. If you are on Apple Arcade, you can play this game for free, but otherwise it is available everywhere. Cult of the Lamb from 2022.
All right, and now I get to do my recommendation. Sorry, my recommendation's so weird. I would like to recommend persimmons, the fruit. They're the best fruit. I had a whole different one written up, and then I was like, wait, persimmons. Okay. Because it is the greatest fruit, and not enough people seem to know about them or like them, which I just like don't, or people are always like, oh, persimmons, like, why do you care so much about persimmons? And I'm like, because they're so good. But my theory is that a lot of people have tried them when they're underripe, and when they're underripe, they are not very good. You really have to get them when they are squishy and like juicy and so good. They're so sweet. They're so delicious. And also, some people will say, oh, I don't like persimmons because they like make your tongue all fuzzy and weird. This is because persimmons have high amounts of tannins, which interacts with your saliva and causes it to get like clumpy. And it is genuinely very annoying when you're like eating the persimmon and then you have to like periodically stop and like scrape all this stuff off your tongue, which granted sounds very gross. Sure. However,
you're making a great case for these.
Most of the persimmons that you buy at an actual grocery store are much lower in tannins and do not do that. I've only ever had that happen when eating persimmons from a person's yard, although they've always also tasted the best. So I do think maybe the ones with high tannins do taste the best. But if you're buying like a persimmon from a grocery store, it will not do that to you probably.
Maria, 3 years from now, everybody's talking about persimmons on HBO Max, and we're like, oh my god, persimmons, I knew about those 3 years ago. It's so amazing.
No, sorry. I'm not going to allow for persimmons being the greatest fruit when mangoes exist.
Oh, shit.
I will fight you on mangoes. Mangoes are the greatest fruit.
But Maria, like you live in a place, and I'm so jealous, in Southern California, where the other day I got like 6 persimmons for like $1.20. I just bought 2 persimmons from the grocery store today, and they were $4 a persimmon in Chicago.
Yeah, and mangoes are hard to come by.
Yeah, the good mangoes are extremely hard to come by. So
they're very hard to come by. I will do an away mission on mangoes if you would like, because I have a lot to say about mangoes.
And that is the episode. Thank you so much for listening. Next week, we will revisit this episode as a second contact and hear Maria and Bill's thoughts once they've actually watched it, and maybe, hopefully, also Jarrah. Except Jarrah, I'm so sorry. We will have to make you watch this episode if you would like to come back, but it is optional.
Is there an escape pod?
And then the following week, Bill will be telling us about the season 2 finale. You guys, we made it through 2 whole seasons somehow.
This is so exciting, you guys.
It is called The Expanse, which I'm sure will be a crossover episode with the crew of the Rocinante.
Yep, definitely.
Jarrah, thank you so much for being here. Can you tell our listeners where they can find you?
Yeah, absolutely. You can find me at trekkiefeminist.com or on Blue Sky at JARRAH Penguin.
All right. Special thanks to our producer, K.O. Myers at Particulate Media, to our friend David for our beautiful cover art, and to John Stephen King for being the voice of our computer. If you liked the show, please rate, review, and subscribe on your podcast app of choice and tell your friends about it. We really appreciate it. You can follow us on Instagram and Facebook as @EnterpriseSplaining and on Blue Sky as @EnterpriseSplain. You can also email us any comments or questions such as, how long has it been since you've mated? To EnterpriseSplaining at...
Please do not send us that question.
EnterpriseSplaining@gmail.com. We would love to hear from you, but we will block you if you actually send that to us. If you want to support this podcast, you can find us at Buy Me a Coffee as EnterpriseSplaining. We will see you next week.
Computer and programs.
I definitely haven't seen this episode, but I now remember that this one was flagged to me repeatedly as like one of the worst Enterprise episodes.
Yeah.
Like from a feminist perspective. And I was like, cool, I'm not even going to get to there. And I know why now.
Yeah, we're so glad we were able to answer that question for you.
Well, you can thank friend of the pod, Dax, for this one, because I told them the 3 episodes at the end of season 2 that you said you hadn't seen and said,
yeah,
we're having Jarrah back on. Which episode should we have Jarrah on for? And Dax said Bounty. Right. Thank you, Dax, so much for this.
I will find you.
You've made an enemy today.
This has been a broadcast of the ESO Network. Be part of the crew and help support our shows by donating to our ESO Patreon or by shopping at the TeePublic store, which can all be found at www.esonetwork.com. The ESO Network, your station for all things geek.